Thanks for tuning in to today's video. I'm just getting ready. It's going to be like a chit chat. Get ready with me. I'm going to be sharing some newer affordable products that I've purchased in the last couple of weeks. But right now I'm starting off with a new purchase. I finally got my hands on the Colourpop brow pencils. They actually have one. This one is the Brow Boss, and this is the newer one. I don't like this newer one. I find that if you need your pencil to actually grip to your skin and actually stay there, I find that the brow pencil, which is the original one that they came out with, I find that this one works a whole lot better. And it does have a spoolie on the end, which you gotta love that. And I think this pencil is like $6. So Colourpop always comes through. I don't think there's ever been too much of anything that I did not like from Colourpop. Now Colourpop is actually going to be coming to Sephora. Like, what do you guys think about that? We can actually go in and swatch Colourpop. Like, that's crazy because, as you guys know, you should know, Colourpop is exclusively online. Anytime you wanted it, you had to order, and not a lot of people like to order online. Some people don't like to get stuff without swatching it. So Colourpop is going to be very accessible to everybody. I believe November 1st, right in time for Scorpio season. So Colourpop will be available at Sephora. So I think that is definitely a step in the right direction for Colourpop. I would have thought Ulta more because, you know, Ulta has that whole drug side, affordable makeup stuff. Even though I'm going to do my eyes first, I want to go ahead and prime my face. So I went ahead and ordered the Touch and Soul No Problem Primer, and this is what the bottle looks like. So cute. It goes on pretty moisturizing, but it does a good job at filling in your pores and making sure those don't show through. So I like to pat it into the center areas of my face where my pores actually show up. I've been using this all week and I've really been digging this primer. And one pump is all I need to get all of my face. So I want to apply this and let it sink in while we go ahead and do, well, the eyes. I already primed and set my eyes with a translucent powder. Now this is the first time that I'm actually going to be using the Karrueche and Colourpop collaboration palette. This is the Femme Rosa She palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. Really, really pretty colors. And this whole bottom row is mattes. That's what I'm going to use more in my crease. And then I'll probably pick one of these shades up top just for my lid color. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of my Morphe brushes. Those are pretty affordable brushes. I'm going to take the Morphe M502 brush. Color here at the end. I'm going to take the shade Duchess. And I'm going to go into my face with that shade. I want to concentrate a bit on my inner tear duct here. I'm taking a Morphe MB19. The way it's angled, it actually looks like it'll make good for that inner part of your eyelid. I'm going to take this satin shade, and the shade is called Babe. Now these shades have to be built up. Now that Yes Please palette, I love that palette. I don't know what's going on with this one, but so far I'm not that impressed. Just gonna blend out these edges with that first original brush. I'm taking the Morphe E28, which is a more tapered brush. It's a blending brush, but it's a little bit more tapered and comes to a point, so it gets more in that crease. And I'm going to take this second shade here on the bottom called Missy. It's another matte. Very pigmented there. I'm just gonna go right on top of that first shade that I put and just a little bit lower, just so that it gets right into that crease. That shade applied more pigmented than the original two shades that I've used, because you guys know I have hooded eyes, so I have to like create my eye shape. Really like that shade. This palette was only, what, $16? Something like that, $16, $18. So I really like Colourpop's pressed shadows. And of course, I'm just going to go back with that original brush again and blend those two shades out together. For my outer V, I'm going to use two different brushes. I'm going to apply the shade with the Morphe S29 brush, and that's more of an angled brush there. And then I'm going to blend it out with the Morphe S12, which is more of a concentrated blending brush. So more densely packed than the previous two blending brushes that I used. So on the outer corner, I'm going to take Damsel, which is the purpley shade here. And I'm just going to place that in my outer V. It's It's not as deep purple as I thought the shade would be. I thought it was going to be a little deeper than it is, but it's a nice purple. And I think it blends nicely into those. It's hard to get purple right, but it does show up and appear as purple. It's like a plum, actually. Now for my lid, I do want to take a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer. And I just love to use this because it makes my lid shades pop. I'm going to take the Morphe M224 brush and I'm going to dip it into that glitter primer and just use it to prime my lid space. And it also makes the colors like not transfer to my lid, because I always have that problem of like shimmery shades transferring into where my crease is, and then with me having hooded eyelids, it's just not a good look to have shimmers up there. I try to keep all shimmer shades on the lid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and outline my lid space and use this as a guide so I know exactly where I want any shimmers to go. And then I'm gonna take my Sigma E55, one of my favorite brushes to apply my lid color. Which shade should I use? Let's go in with this shade here. That's the color Empress. You see how it just pops? Like I don't have to do too many applications of that shade either, because that base takes care of everything. So I'm just gonna go back in with the same brushes that we had used previously just to blend that out and make everything look really seamless together. So just that outer V corner again, this reddish brown color. Going backwards with those same colors that I used before just to make sure the crease is, you know, as prominent as I want it to be. But we're just gonna move on to the face now. That primer has set in. It's just a little tacky, but I think it's a really good primer, especially to fill in those pores. I'm looking at my face now and my pores look pretty decent. So, Master Camo color corrector. Y'all are probably tired of me talking about this color corrector, but that's how much I've been using it. I've been using it for weeks, haven't gone to anything else. I really enjoy this color corrector. To blend it out real quick, I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. small stipple brush and I'm just gonna spray some of the Makeup Revolution Pro Base Aqua Priming Base. Spray that right on the brush, and then I'm gonna blend out that color corrector with this. And you see how good that freaking color corrector just neutralizes everything? It looks so good. I really love this color corrector. For foundation, I've been using and testing out this number 7 Stay Perfect foundation. It's good for all skin types. It has medium coverage. It says non-stop complexion perfection, all day wear, and it has a sunscreen SPF of 15. So this is an additional SPF. Of course, I put SPF daily within my skincare routine. And guys, how cute is this? This is Real Techniques. I showed you guys this in a couple of hauls back. Like, I bought these and never tried these for a long time. It's 2 different brush sets, and I actually have 1 set of each in my giveaway stuff that I will be doing really soon. And it's going to feature the Ultimate Base Set, which includes the Ultimate, the Expert Face Brush, which I have the Expert Face Brush right here. This is the one that was in my collection already, so they basically just changed the handle color to match the set. It comes with the Miracle Complexion Sponge. I like their sponge, but not my favorite. It also had this little stand for the sponge, which I have the sponge that I'm going to be using today, which is another Real Techniques sponge. It was like their diamond sponge, I believe it's called. And then it also comes with a deluxe concealer brush, which I actually wanted to use to apply my all over lid color, but I totally forgot. Then this is the Sculpting Set, and that's where I got this little kit from. And the Sculpting Set comes with the sculpting brush, which also came with the fan brush, which I'm going to be using to highlight my face. And a classic Real Technique brush. Everybody should have this in their collection. This is the setting brush. This is my original setting brush, which I have. And again, they changed the shade to match the set. So you guys know I like to incorporate affordable brushes into my routines, especially when I'm doing like a get ready with me affordable makeup. And I'm going to take that diamond sponge. And one thing about Real Technique sponges, they're so fragile. Like, you grab them the wrong way and they rip all over the place. So be careful with your Real Techniques sponges. I actually prefer this diamond sponge way better than the orange one that's the original. But I'm gonna put this number 7 Stay Perfect foundation. My shade is in Hazelnut. The shade match is a little off. To me, I think it's a little cooler than my skin, but I can make it work once it comes to like concealer and everything. So I'm gonna apply it to half of my face so you guys can see what it looks like. As you see, it does have like a little cooler tone. It's just a hint darker than my skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other half now. They say it's a long wearing foundation. I find that the first time I wore it, I didn't prime and it broke up on my nose. So you definitely need a primer with this in order for it to be a long wearing foundation. And the same primer that I used in this video is the primer that I tested it out with the second time that I wore it. And I did like it that day. So it did last much longer with the primer. And it does leave like a little bit of a luminous effect to your skin. But it is transfer proof. Guys, yo, I was at work and I actually put a piece of paper to my face. Because what happened was accidentally I hit my face with a piece of paper. And then I'd be like, oh, I thought that there would be freaking foundation on the paper, but then when nothing showed up, I actually put the paper there like, wait a minute. So this is definitely transfer proof. I am not mad at this foundation at all. So you don't hear a lot of people talking about number 7 foundation. I would like to try more of this stuff. I know the primer that they discontinued was a lot of people's holy grails, especially my oily girls, but this is good for all skin types. If you like a luminous finish, because I do think, as you can see, I do have that luminosity, that glow coming from my skin. Now let's get into concealer. I have been loving these Colourpop concealers, but I have Rich 75, which is the deepest shade, which I don't think this should be the deepest shade because it's almost like my skin tone, but hopefully eventually they will expand as y'all go into Sephora. Hint, hint, these should be in Sephora because everybody needs these. What is it, $6 concealers in there? Y'all need these, trust me. So the one that I use as a highlight shade is Rich Tan number 65. I am going to apply just a little bit of the 75 so you can. This wand, yo, it just bends to the curves of your face. It's so nice. Colourpop really did their thing with these concealers, like no lie. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter shade, which is the Rich Tan 65. And we're going to use this as a highlight shade. This one is number 60, Deep Golden. And I'm going to use this just to add some brightness into the inner corner of my eye. Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. So I'm going to use that Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to blend out my concealer. I don't really like it for foundation, but it does work really nicely for concealer. Really like this from this concealer, and once you set it, oh my goodness, like it's not budging. I'm gonna blend out that contour shade just around the edges of my face, add that dimension back, and then we're gonna take the sponge and just go over everything, make sure it's nicely blended together. I'm just going to take my RCMA powder and I want to set my entire face with this RCMA powder. And then I'm going back in with eyeshadow. I just want to make sure this is like nicely set so I can catch any fallout that I may have. Which that the She palette didn't really give me too much fallout. It really is a no color powder, but either way I do go back in with another powder just to add a little of my skin tone complexion, more like a MSF kind of thing you'll be seeing. I'm using an affordable one. I can't for the life of me find my Wet n Wild powder, which I really did like, but that would have been a little bit more affordable for this look, but I'll show you what powder I'm going to use soon for that anyway. So I'm going to take my Morphe M560 brush, and we're going to go in with that same transition shade that we had used before. I'm going to use that all underneath my eye here. Now I'm going to take the Morphe M165, going in with Missy. That shade, I'm just going to go a little bit closer to my bottom lash line, and I'm going to apply that there. I'm going to go ahead and apply Damsel more towards just the outer portion. That's that deeper purple shade, the plummy shade. And this I'm only taking like halfway through, right up on that lash line. And then going in with that same brush that I took originally, the M560, with that transition color, just blending them all together. And then I'm just going to take a clean brush. This is the M433. It's just a blending brush. I'm going to go over pretty much everything around the edges of my eyes just to make sure it's nicely blended and soften it up. It's smoky but still soft. I just find that this makes a world of difference in the whole eye look overall. Next up for powder, I'm going to use another Real Techniques brush. This is the Real Techniques Multitask brush, and I'm going to take my Sephora powder. This is the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in Deep. It's Sephora's answer to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, basically. I just want to bring a little bit of deep color back into my face. And I find that this makes the skin look really, really smooth. So that's why I like this powder. Products. Let's go in and bronze up. This is the affordable bronzer. This is my CoverGirl Queen Collection. And I'm just going to take that same brush. I'm just going to apply this. I like to pat it on and then buff. Gives it more dimension. I like to pinch in when I'm dealing with my nose if I'm using a bigger brush. I just only want to put a little bit just for that warmth that this bronzer brings. So I'm finishing up this bottle. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Really, really like this setting spray. Great drugstore affordable makeup option. Smells so good, feels so good. And that just helps get rid of the powdery look as well as set my makeup. I am going to try out the Real Techniques fan brush with my highlighter. This is Sleek Makeup. This is their highlighting palette in the shade Cleopatra's Kiss. And let me tell you ladies, y'all chocolate girls, us brown girls need this palette in our lives. It comes with 4 different shades. My favorite shade is this top gold shade here. I don't know if I'm going to like this fan brush. Let's see. Oh, I guess I do. It didn't look like anything was on there, but as you can see, it definitely is definitely on there. I like to put a little bit of the highlight right underneath my brow because it just lifts up my eye. And then I also put some on my forehead. Of course, my Cupid's bow. I live for highlighting my Cupid's bow because when you put on your lipstick, that pop is just perfect. So I'm not mad at this highlighting brush. I didn't expect it to do what it just did. I really do like this Cleopatra's Kiss highlighter. That blended out really nicely with this fan brush, so not mad at all. Really enjoying my Juvia's Place blush palettes. And for this look, I'm going to do one of my favorite combinations. I'm going to mix B and I'm going to mix Sola. And I am going to use the sculpting brush. I'm going to use it for blush though. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm just going to apply that to help build up that blush. I love these Juvia's Place blush palettes, period. I have both of them, 1 and 2, and they are both bomb. And I think this blush matches my eyes really, really nicely. This is the Makeup Shayla collab with Maybelline. And I really do like this mascara. I went in with about 3 coats. It adds nice volume to your lashes. Not so much length, just very little length, if any. But I like it because it's good on both the top lashes as well as the bottom lashes. And you can continue to build it up. This is like the 4th time I'm going in. And it's just now starting to get a little bit clumpy, which I'm not too mad. I don't get too mad at a little bit of clumps. It's just I like a lot of volume in my lashes. It doesn't make your lashes too crispy or anything like that. It's easy to come off actually at night because sometimes some mascaras actually stick to my lashes, which I don't like that. I like to know that my lashes are actually clean with the rest of my face. So I really do like this mascara, and I can see why this was a favorite of Shayla's. Congratulations to her. Now her palette, with it, I'm going to go ahead and complete the face, and I'm going to use the lip pencil from their previous collaboration. This is in the shade Karrueche, And I'm just going to use this to line my lips. And taking the Ultra Satin Lip from that same collaboration, from their new collaboration, the Femme Rosa, because as you can see it has that rose on there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does have a rose shape on the Ultra Satin Lip. This is in the shade Darling, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I've worn this shade before and it's really, really pretty. I actually love the Ultra Satin Lip, way more comfortable to wear and fully pigmented, because as you can see it didn't take much to build that color up there, and it was a really good match, and I think this came together really, really nicely. So guys, thanks for tuning in to today's video. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me. This is the finished look. Of course, I really, really like everything that I used. The Femme Rosa palette, not a bad palette. I mean, some of the mattes you have to build up, but not bad. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have lots of new videos coming to you guys. If you're not already subscribed here on Kay's Ways, you definitely stick around and subscribe. Hit the notification bell just so you can be notified as to when the new videos will be uploaded. Until next time, I hope to catch you on the next one. Stay blessed, guys.